Hey Gecko and Isopod fans, it's Wally Kern with Supreme Gecko. I have a challenge today. This is going to be a big challenge. Nanette comes home in an hour and a half. I have a Diet Coke. I have time to finish off that Diet Coke, and I think I have time to get this all done before Nanette comes home. What do I have to do? Well, I have to transfer 4 different species of Oedura, Australian velvet geckos, into these 4 enclosures. Now, you remember last week we cleaned these out. This is the reason we cleaned them out, to be able to transfer other animals in here. Right now, these are all crested geckos. So we're going to take the 4 crested geckos out, and we're going to transfer in the Oedura. Let's see if we can do that. Plus, I'm going to give you a tip at the end of this video on how you can better breed Oedura. This is going to be a very, very important tip. Let's go. So basically we have 3 different steps here. Number 1, we have to take out all the decorations for the crested geckos. We have to take out the crested geckos and move them somewhere else. That's step number 1. Number 2 is getting these tanks ready, these 4 tanks ready for the Oedura. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I have, well, I know that I don't have enough plants. We're going to have to go to a pet store, a plant store this weekend, and buy more plants for these Oedura. Number 3 is then moving over the Oedura, catching them and moving them over to their new enclosures. And that should be fairly simple. Let's jump into this. And at this point, I'll speed up the video so it's a little bit easier to watch, not as long, and I'll talk about what I'm doing during the video. Okay, right now I'm just getting my carts ready with all the materials that I'll need later on for the Oedura. But let's go ahead and catch these animals. Now, I have some big cups that we saved for years and years, and these are great to put adult crested geckos in. So let's get to it. What I was doing was just using the stick to gently poke them. I wasn't pushing them over to me. Let's go. One of our best reds, although it's certainly not fired up right now. Just beautiful, beautiful red. So what I'm doing is I'm going to keep this group down here in the room for breeding purposes. The other 2 groups will go to the other crested gecko room. What a mess that glue from the tape became. That wasn't too bad. I think we're all set here. We have all 4 of these moved. This was an empty enclosure, so we moved these 2 and we'll move them to the other room, and this one we moved down. I think we're all set to start setting these enclosures up for the velvet geckos. My plan to set these up is to have some substrate, dirt, and sand mixed together. I'm going to mix some peat with that to just keep the humidity up a little bit, and it's not going to be very deep whatsoever. So when we mist, that substrate's going to get wet, but then dry out within a day or so. So far, I think I'm right on time here. Certainly is dusty, that's for sure. Where's my mask when I need it? Okay, now some dirt. So folks, these are 20-gallon aquariums, 20 highs actually. And it's just going to be the perfect size for a group of one or one male, two females of the Oedura. Phew, done with that step. All that I need to do now is just kind of mix this around, then we can put the decorations in. This doesn't have to be perfect. This will mix over time for sure. All right, we are mixed. All right, we are mixed up. Well, I mixed up, but at least the tanks are mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of water on here just to dampen it up so it's easier to work with. Be right back. Yes, this is a garden hose hooked up directly to our faucet down here, to our workstation. Just a little bit, just to kind of take the dust off. Okay, the fun part, because I don't think I have enough supplies, but we'll make do with the best that we possibly can. Let's go ahead and set up these 4 enclosures. What I'm going to be doing is setting up this cork bark so the Oedura can climb up to the heat. That's right, I said heat. You'll see in just a second. Okay, folks, I have some plants in there. I have some cork bark. I have a couple of other decorations. I think this is going to have to do for now. We need more. We need more cork bark. I might have to buy a big box of cork bark because I am running out of cork bark here. We're also going to go to Stein's Gardens and Gifts this weekend and grab 4 probably spider or snake plants, maybe 4 pathos, something to fill up the fronts of these enclosures. The next step is to put in hide boxes, and a food dish and a water dish. So let me get to that. I'm using these very simple plastic bowls. These are just perfect for this size of a gecko. Just absolutely perfect. And I tell you what, folks, I'm going to put the water bowls right up front, simply because that will give us the opportunity to water without reaching in back to try to grab them and rewater. And the feeding dishes that we're using are these mealworm cups. We offer them on the Supreme Gecko store page. That sounded like an advertisement, didn't it? And what we'll do is we'll put dubias in here. We'll feed mealworms in here. So my next step is to put some calcium and vitamin mix supplements in each one of these. Do the geckos eat this? I don't think the Oedura will, but it doesn't hurt, right? And it certainly keeps the dubia from escaping into the enclosure and finding monster dubia, Godzilla dubia, in the enclosure when you least expect it. I actually have a dish of mealworms here. I had my crested gecko cups that had aged crested gecko, uneaten crested gecko in here, and I was feeding the mealworms that. So as we do this, we're going to go ahead and add a few mealworms to each one. Give them a fresh meal. And I added about 8 to 10 mealworms to each one. That should be enough. They might take a few days before they settle in, too. Hardest part to this whole process is separating these mealworm cups and tops. Okay, folks, we're going to go ahead and catch these geckos. Here's what we're going after. We have a group of 1-2 Oedura monoliths, a group of 1-1 Oedura koguri, a group of 1-2, I believe it's 2, Oedura monoliths, and a group of 1-1 Oedura castellanae. Let's go. Okay, we have the first group of Oedura monoliths. These animals were growing out in this enclosure. They're getting too big for that enclosure. Now's the perfect time to move them, just before the breeding season. I'm going to check these out when we get in there just to make sure that I have a male and 2 females. If I have 2 males, I'll take one of the males out, obviously. Let's go for the let's go for the group of koguri. Now, this was a breeding group as well. These are smaller Oedura. They're only about 3.5 inches or so. So this was perfect for them for a breeding enclosure, these 12 by 12 by 18s. But we're going to go with a little bit bigger for them. Got one. I see the other one right in front too. So I'm going to hurry up and do this. Okay, there we go. And again, we had eggs from the koguri last year, so I'm positive that this is a boy and a girl. We'll move them over. Now for the monoliths. And the monolith is a 1-1. You can see how absolutely careful I am examining each piece of cork bark. The problem is that they're not super fast. They're a little bit quick, but crested gecko quick. The problem is that down here, if they do get away, there's just so many hiding places for them. So I'm very, very careful with the animals. I opened this up and I thought, oh, there's one. I don't think that's one, or I haven't been feeding enough. I tell you, these Oedura shed all the time. I see one running around right now, so I closed the door because I don't want it to get out. But I do want to check these leaves extra special. I think I know where the other one is, though. Okay, I think I have a feeling I know where the female is. Oh, you're not going to see this at all. But the female is right in there. I don't know if I can get the light on this. Oh my gosh. This is going to be interesting, folks. I might grab another cup for this. Okay, back. We're going to give this a shot. So these little cups are super cool because they're Strudies found on Etsy. They love them. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this female without losing her. Phew. That was not bad at all. Actually, this is the male. So the next step is we'll put the animals away. Then we'll put little stickers on each one. Let's go. Okay, it's put away time. and I am down to about a quarter of a can of Diet Coke, so I have to do this quick. Nanette's going to be home in, I almost looked at my watch and tipped over the geckos. Nanette's going to be home in about 10 minutes, so we've got to get this done, folks. But first, my drink of Coke. Okay, these are the Oedura, or Velvet, geckos. This is Castellano. And again, sorry folks, these cups are dirty, but these are what we use for feeding and doing other things. But you can just see how amazing these animals are. Here we go. To your new home. So I'm going to take the top off and be very gentle and quiet while the animal goes in. I'm just going to dump them right on the ground, and that's okay. And now the next one. See if we can catch this one, because this one has so much color. Hopefully you can see that. Beautiful animal. Okay, to your new home. There you go, right on that soft peat moss. Okay, the next animal is, and again, dirty cups, but they work. Oh my gosh, look at them running. I don't even know if we're going to pull the top off here. Let's try it here. Oh, they're too fast. Let's go ahead and put them away. So this is our breeding pair of monoliths. And I'm going to go right here. And hopefully you can see that, folks. Cool looking animals. Their babies are outstanding. Okay, folks, I'm going to put the top right on the tank so I don't forget which one's in which without reviewing the video. These are Kograi. I'm just going to put them in because the three are going to run like crazy. And there they go. Okay, our last group here, and again, these guys are running like crazy. Let me get that off. And we'll go ahead and put these away. Ugh. So there you go, folks. We're all set up. 4 new enclosures for these Oedura. We're going to be breeding this year. Fingers crossed for some babies, and very excited about the 2025 breeding season. We're all set. I'll put the names right here, and we're good to go. Remember that tip I was going to give you about Oedura? Well, I've got a light bulb in here. What we're going to do is put 4 lights high up here. These are 25 watt bulbs. It's going to keep the upper area round. As long as they don't go right to the top, it's going to keep this area about 90 degrees or so. They have plenty of room once we get some new live plants in here. They're going to have plenty of room to get away from that light if they want to, but they'll have room where they can go right up to the light and warm up. It's so important giving animals like this a gradient so that they can adjust their body heat both ways, up and down. Hey, you want to see another velvet gecko? These are super cool. These are Robusta. Take a look at this video right here. A lot of luck to your breeding season in 2025. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you later.